Jerusalem, eternal capital of the Jewish people for more than 3,000 years. Jerusalem, ancient city, holy city, modern city, capital city, vibrant city. Divided, tensions led to economic stagnation and religious desecration. Reunified in 1967 and thriving for more than 40 years, some seek to divide it again. What would happen? What would be the Arab reaction? What would happen to the Jewish and Christian holy sites in Jerusalem? We need only look at recent history to see that when Jews abandon their holy sites, they are destroyed. King David made it the capital of the Jewish people. King Solomon built the first temple. King Herod built the second temple, parts of which survive today. Holy to Christians with the stations of the Via Dolorosa and ancient churches. Jerusalem, holy city, united city. Steady growth led to 60,000 residents by the year 600 of the current era. By the 1800s, Jerusalem had expanded beyond its ancient walls, to Silwan in the east, to neighborhoods to the west. Yet the old city remained the spiritual heart of Judaism. Waves of Jewish immigrants increased the city's population, starting in 1880, bringing new vibrancy. For many, it seemed if God's prophecy was coming true. The day will come when old men and old women will populate the streets of Jerusalem, and the streets of the city will fill with boys and girls at play. Britain gained control of Jerusalem after World War I, with its Jewish Legion liberating Jewish holy sites. But Jerusalem's Grand Mufti instigated the 1920 anti-Jewish riot at the Western Wall. Additional riots continued throughout the 1930s, forcing Jerusalem's Jewish population to flee, both inside the Old City and out. In response, the British adopted a policy of separation, dividing Jerusalem for the first time in its history. Violence against the Jews continued throughout the 1940s. In 1948, the modern Jewish state was born. Israel declared its independence and was attacked by Arab armies. Israel won its hard-fought independence, creating the first independent Jewish state in more than 2,000 years. Jerusalem, however, remained divided. The Arab Legion expelled the old city's remaining 1,300 Jewish residents. Jewish property that had been held for generations was left behind. Jews were denied access to its holiest sites, the Temple Mount, burial sites, and synagogues. Barbed wire divided Jerusalem. A small no-man's land did not protect the Jewish residents from sniper fire. Even in its divided state, Jerusalem was the capital of the new state of Israel, reflecting its centrality since the time of King David. Meanwhile, without promised protection from international organizations, Jewish holy sites in the Old City were desecrated and destroyed. In total, 58 synagogues were destroyed in the Old City in this period, and its Christian population fell from about 25,000 to about 11,000. Not a single Jew was allowed to remain. But less than 2 decades later, with the sweeping victories of the Six-Day War, Israel liberated Jerusalem. Jews across the globe rejoiced. Israeli soldiers captured the Old City and prayed at the Western Wall. The city had been profoundly damaged while divided. Israel found more than a third of the Old City's Jewish quarter destroyed and vowed to rebuild the ancient and historic sites. Israel enacted a policy of free access to all holy sites, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim. The city began to rebuild with a focus on tourism, new industries, and government. Today, Jerusalem is a dynamic metropolis with Arab and Jewish communities interspersed throughout the city. What would happen if Jerusalem is redivided? What would happen to the Jewish neighborhoods? What would be the status of the holy sites? What would become of the city's commercial areas developed in the past 40 years? Israel's premier university, the National Library of the Jewish People, and Hadassah Hospital would be isolated again. The Gaza withdrawal led to rockets showering down on Israel's civilian population, making normal life unlivable. Would this happen in Jerusalem's neighborhoods? We need only listen to the words of Palestinian leaders.
وأنا بقول لك حالة أن تنهار فكرة إسرائيل ونأخذ القدس على الأقل تنهار فكرتها تماما وبنبدأ بتقدم فكرتنا إن شاء الله لدحرهم من كل فرق.
Do we want history to be repeated? Jerusalem under Israeli sovereignty guarantees religious openness, security, and peaceful worship. United Jerusalem thrives, blending its many parts to create a united whole city. The old melds with new, the past with the present, history with the future, together and one. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, may my right hand wither, may my tongue stick to my palate. If I do not remember you, if I do not set Jerusalem above my greatest joy,